और अब आपको सीधे ले चलते हैं विदेश मंत्रालय की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में।
Paran, where he is saying that Canadian Khalistani Sikhs have come to India to fight Indian forces. Is there any information on any Canadian citizen who was involved in any such incident here in India?
सर मधुरेंद्र मैं न्यूज़ नेशन से। जिस तरह से चाइना इंडिया को साइडलाइन करके साउथ एशिया में अपने आउटरीच को बढ़ा रहा है और ये भी देखा जा रहा है कि नेपाल को वो अपने पार्टनरशिप में बेहतर तरीके से इंगेज कर पा रहा है। आपको लगता है कि हम अपने नेबरहुड में जिस तरह के अप्रोच को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं साउथ एशिया में, उसको एक काउंटर करने की एक नई पॉलिसी पर चाइना चल रहा है? और इस पूरे ही CSF के जो मीटिंग है, 5वीं बैठक है, उस पर क्या टिप्पणी है?
किसकी बैठक का?
CASAF की जो 5वीं बैठक है जो अभी चल रही है।
Okay, Abhishek.
This is Abhishek from Siri News Delhi. My question is regarding U.S. Assistant Secretary Donald Lu's comment, in which he has said that India has cancelled billions of dollars of purchase from Russian defense industry because Russia cannot deliver. So my first question is that, and second, also he has said that he has been in communication with the Indian government on their displeasure and disappointment with the Prime Minister's visit to Moscow. So could you please brief us on what kind of communication they have been?
Okay, so let me come to the first question which was asked by Uma Shankar, and also the comments made in the US Congress. You must understand that India has long-standing relationship with Russia that is based on mutuality of interests. In a multipolar world, all countries have the freedom of choice. It is essential for everybody to be mindful of and appreciate such realities. So that will be our response to your questions. उमा जी, आपने हिंदी में पूछा इसलिए मैं हिंदी में बोलना चाह रहा हूँ। हमारी रूस के साथ पुरानी मैत्री है और ये दोनों देशों के रिश्तों पे, इंटरेस्ट पे आधारित है। एक बहुध्रुवीय दुनिया में, मल्टीपोलर वर्ल्ड में सभी देशों को आज़ादी है कि अपने अपने राह चुने, अपने अपने विकल्प को चुने, और ये भी जरूरी है कि एक नई जो वास्तविकता है, हकीकत है, उसको लोग उससे वाकिफ हो, उसको समझें और उसकी प्रशंसा भी करें। Siddhant, the question on Bangladesh. So far, we have had over 6,700 Indian students who've come back from Bangladesh. We've received excellent cooperation from the Bangladeshi government. Our High Commission has arranged for their safe and secure travel to the border crossing points or to the airport, as the case may be. They also have several helplines. Both our High Commission and our Assistant High Commissions, they are operating 24/7 helplines. And all the people who are there, our students and our nationals, they can reach out to them, and they have been rendering whatever assistance that has been requested for. So that is the update on student movement. We also feel that being a close neighbor with whom we share very warm and friendly ties, we are hopeful that the situation in the country would return to normal soon. कादम्बरी, आपका सवाल ट्रैवल एडवाइजरी को लेके। ट्रैवल एडवाइजरी एक रूटीन मैटर है जो हर देश जो चाहे वो उसको इशू करते हैं। हम लोगों ने भी ट्रैवल एडवाइजरी इशू की है, तो हम लोग इसको एक रूटीन मैटर की नज़र से देखते हैं। Rishabh, you asked two questions. One was regarding the arrests made in Canada for online threats given to their leaders. On that, we would like to say that we've seen these reports. When a democracy adopts different yardsticks to measure or implement the rule of law and freedom of expression. It only exposes its own double standard. We expect Canada to take action against anti-India elements who have repeatedly threatened Indian leaders, institutions, airlines, and diplomats by violence. So we would like to see strong action or same level of action on the threats posed to us as well. On the second question about the video you talked about, relevant agencies are looking into it, and hopefully we'll get an update. मधु, आपने हमारे पड़ोसी देशों के बारे में बात की। पड़ोस में नेपाल हो और भी देश जो हैं हमारे पड़ोस के, आपको पता है कि नेबरहुड फर्स्ट पॉलिसी हमारी नीति है और उसके तहत हम सारे देश जो हमारे नेबरहुड में हैं, नेपाल, भूटान, बांग्लादेश, श्रीलंका और अन्य देश जो हैं, उनके साथ हम अपनी मैत्री का रिश्ता और मजबूत कर रहे हैं। और ये रिश्ता भारत और उन देशों के बीच में है। ये तीसरे देश क्या कर रहा है, नहीं कर रहा है, वो एक अलग बात है। लेकिन जहां तक हमारा मानना है और हम लोग का प्रयास है, हमारी नीति है कि हम नेबरहुड पॉलिसी को और मजबूत करें और ये जितने हमारे देश हैं जिनसे हमारे अच्छे फ्रेंडली रिलेशंस हैं, उसको और मजबूत करेंगे आने वाले दिनों में। Abhishek, I answered your question regarding the same question that was put by Rishabh.
From Russia.
So, on the comments made by Donald Lu in the US Congress, we've conveyed what we had to. Between, as far as Russia and India are concerned, it's a long-standing relationship. There are several aspects to it, and we recently had the visit of the Prime Minister. We also issued a joint statement where different aspects of our relationship were highlighted. What are the areas where we are moving forward? There was thrust on economic aspects of the relationship. So I would request you to have a look at the joint statement. You will get a clear idea of the direction of the relationship. Shall we go to more questions then? इधर आया था।
Yeshi Seli from the New Indian Express. U.S. Foreign Secretary David Lammy was in India yesterday, and Prime Minister Modi said that they're looking at early conclusion of the FTA. Was any deadline set? Are meetings going to take place? Because the British Prime Minister is also keen that this is concluded.
Okay. Vasni.
Suhasini Haider from The Hindu. You spoke about Bangladesh a little earlier. Many like Professor Muhammad Yunus in Bangladesh have called for the international community, for Bangladesh partners, the United Nations, to intervene in some way to stop the bloodshed. My question was not so much about the students, but about whether the government, whether the Prime Minister or any of the External Affairs Minister have had any conversations with their counterparts in Dhaka about the situation over there, and do you see the situation itself as one of concern?
Okay. Pranay?
सर प्रणय उपाध्याय जी न्यूज़ से मेरा सवाल कुछ डोमेस्टिक इश्यूज को लेकर है जिसमें विदेश मंत्रालय का इंटरेस्ट हो सकता है। केरला सरकार की तरफ से अभी हाल ही में जो एक नोटिफिकेशन आया था एक अधिकारी की नियुक्ति को लेकर, जिसको मीडिया में फॉरेन सेक्रेटरी कहा गया, साथ ही पश्चिम बंगाल की मुख्यमंत्री की तरफ से भी जो बयान आए थे, क्या ये बिजनेस एलोकेशन रूल्स का उल्लंघन है, और उसको लेकर इन संबंधित सरकारों के साथ क्या विदेश मंत्रालय ने कुछ कहा है, बात हुई है, कुछ आश्वासन?
Ayushi?
So this is Ayushi Agarwal from ANI. I have two questions. One is regarding the visit of the upcoming visit of our External Affairs Minister to Japan for the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting. Any discussion on the dates of the summit expected between the ministers, since India is the host? So if we can know when the summit would happen, will that be later this year or early next year? Second, who will be representing India at the swearing-in ceremony of the Iranian-elect President Pezeshkian, which is scheduled later this month?
Elena?
Good afternoon, Elena TASS News Agency. My first question is on cooperation between India and Eurasian Economic Union. As we know, India and Russia agreed that they will explore the possibility of Eurasian Economic Union India Free Trade Area. So, have the negotiations started on this? What is your estimation of this possible FTA, and when may it be created? And related to this issue, the question is, maybe India considers to join this union, Eurasian Economic Union. And if you allow me one more question, on what stage are now the negotiations between India and Russia on RuPay in Russia and Mir cards in India?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
नीरज।
सर, मैं नीरज दुबे प्रभा साक्षी से, बांग्लादेश से ही मेरा प्रश्न है सर। सर, वहाँ के जो विदेश मंत्री हैं, उन्होंने वेस्ट बंगाल सीएम के एक बयान पर आपत्ति जताई है और कहा है कि बांग्लादेश सरकार भारत सरकार को एक पत्र लिख रही है। क्या भारत सरकार को कोई इस बारे में पत्र मिला है बांग्लादेश से?
ओके, नीरज एक बार जरा। Ishi, regarding the visit of UK Foreign Secretary, we had the visit yesterday, the official visit of UK Foreign Secretary. This has happened within 1 month of the swearing of the new government in UK, and it speaks of the kind of commitment that is there on both sides and on the UK side as well on strengthening this partnership. UK Foreign Secretary met with the Prime Minister, called on the Prime Minister. He also had a meeting with external National Security Advisor, and then bilateral discussions with the External Affairs Minister. Both sides recognize that positive movement have happened on the FTA negotiations, and hopefully both sides will take this forward. Both sides are looking forward to a mutually beneficial and a balanced FTA outcome that serves both the countries. So we are positive. Both governments are positive on the negotiations. Suhasini, your question regarding how do we see the developments in Bangladesh. We are aware of the situation in the country. We have been closely following the developments there. India considers the ongoing situation in the country to be an internal matter of Bangladesh. With the support and cooperation of the Bangladesh government, we were able to arrange for safe returns of our students, which we deeply appreciate. Being a close neighbor with whom, as I said earlier, we share very warm and friendly ties, we are hopeful that the situation in the country will return to normal soon. So that is how we look at the developments in Bangladesh. प्रणय, केरला सरकार को लेके आपने जो सवाल किया, देखिए संविधान के तहत, I think there are others also who are asking this question, so I'll make, sorry, same question? So we'll do it in English and Hindi both. The Kerala government had issued an order where they had appointed, or they have appointed a secretary in charge of external cooperation. See, let's be very clear. The Constitution of India, under the 7th schedule, list 1, which is the union list, item number 10, clearly specifies that foreign affairs and all matters which bring the union into relation with any foreign country are the sole prerogative of the union government. It is not a concurrent subject. So foreign affairs is not a concurrent subject and definitely not a state subject. Our position is that state government should not intrude into matters that are beyond their constitutional jurisdiction. प्रणय, क्या मैं आपके लिए इसका रूपांतर करूं? भारतीय संविधान के तहत 7वें शेड्यूल में जो यूनियन लिस्ट है, उसके 10वां जो आइटम नंबर है, उसमें बड़े साफ शब्दों में लिखा हुआ है कि जहां तक विदेशी मुद्दों का सवाल है, फॉरेन अफेयर्स का सवाल है, और वो सभी मुद्दे जो बाहर के देशों से ताल्लुकात रखते हैं, वो जो प्रेरोगेटिव है वो केंद्र सरकार की है। और ये जो मुद्दा है, ये जो सब्जेक्ट है, 3 लिस्ट है जैसे कि आप जानते हैं, स्टेट यूनियन लिस्ट, स्टेट लिस्ट एंड कंकरेंट लिस्ट। दिस इज नॉट अ मैटर विच फॉल्स, ये कंकरेंट लिस्ट का भाग नहीं है और स्टेट लिस्ट का भी भाग नहीं है। तो ऐसे सिचुएशन में जबकि संवैधानिक प्रावधान है और बहुत स्पष्ट हैं, ऐसे में जो राज्य की सरकार हैं, उनको जो जुरिडिक्शन उनके दायरे में नहीं है, उसमें किसी प्रकार का हस्तक्षेप नहीं करना चाहिए। External Affairs Minister will be visiting Japan for the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting. The Quad Foreign Ministers meeting is on 29th. At the meeting, the leaders will take forward what has been agreed to by the leaders, the Prime Minister, presidents of the country, when they met last in Hiroshima, and thereafter there was a meeting, follow-up meeting also in New York. So it's a good occasion. It is a valuable occasion for them to take forward the Quad agenda and take stock of all that has been achieved so far. On the question of the next summit, it will be a matter which will be discussed as well. At the same time, all the Quad partners together, we are the presidency this time, we will discuss and find a suitable date to host this summit. As and when we have a confirmation on that account, we'll keep you updated. On the question of Iran, I will let you know as and when we finalize our participation. So hopefully in a day or two, or as and when it happens, I will keep you informed. Elena, on the question about FTA between India and Eurasia Economic Union, this matter was discussed. It is part of the joint statement which was issued when Prime Minister went to Russia. I understand that the first initial meeting happened in March of this year, and subsequent to that, now it is for both sides to mutually agree on a date, schedule the next meeting and take things forward. So that is where it is. Both sides are in touch with each other to see how best they can take it forward. On the question of RuPay card and Mir card, these are very technical aspects, and the technical teams in both countries are in touch with each other on this particular matter. नीरज, आपका सवाल बांग्लादेश के विदेश मंत्री और हमारी बंगाल की चीफ मिनिस्टर को लेकर रहा, तो वहाँ मैं फिर दोहराना चाहूँगा, and for everybody else I would like to first speak in English and thereafter make my comments in Hindi. I can confirm that we have received a diplomatic note, a communication from the Bangladeshi side protesting the comments made by Chief Minister of West Bengal. It is essentially on the lines that you would have seen in the reports that have come out today. Again, I would like to underline that under the 7th schedule, List 1, Union List, Item 10 of our Constitution, the conduct of foreign affairs and all matters which bring the Union into relation with any foreign country are the sole prerogative of the Union government. नीरज, आपके लिए हम लोगों को बांग्लादेश की सरकार की तरफ से एक डिप्लोमेटिक नोट मिला है। उन्होंने एक प्रोटेस्ट किया कि जो टिप्पणियां दी गई हैं वेस्ट बंगाल के चीफ मिनिस्टर द्वारा वो सही नहीं है, और जो आपने रिपोर्ट देखे हैं उसी तर्ज पे ये प्रोटेस्ट नोट भी है। ये हम ये कहना चाहेंगे कि भारतीय संविधान के तहत, भारतीय संविधान में शेड्यूल 7 जो है उसके तहत, उसमें लिस्ट 1 यूनियन लिस्ट आइटम नंबर 10 के तहत जो विदेशी मामला है, फॉरेन अफेयर्स,
How many Indians are there, and would it be safe for the Indian companies to do business there? My second question is, there's a report today in Bloomberg, or was it yesterday, that Reliance has got permission to buy oil, crude from that country. So what happens to the other companies like ONGC? Are they allowed to do business there?
Srinjoy.
So, Srinjoy, Times Now. So, between the 11th of July to the 13th of July, and all these meetings happen in the morning, from all the way from Ladakh to Lepu Lake to Sikkim to Arunachal, there were a series of meetings at different levels between Indians and the Chinese over different periods of time. Some were very long, some were short, but they happened within these 3 days. Can you tell us what the general agenda is and if it is leading somewhere?
Sudhi?
So, Shruti Ranjan from Bloomberg, sir. So, as you reiterated, Bangladesh is one of our closest neighbors, and India is keeping a close watch on the developments. Bangladesh government, has it indicated or given us anything to understand that these protests, there may be some outsider influence? And since India is a close, neighbor, friend, does India have any such reports?
Hello, sir. Milan from India Today. Just wanted to know the progress on Indians stuck in the Russian army. There was a request that was received by India also to help them come back. So what's been the progress on that, sir?
Okay. नीरज, आपका सवाल और मिलन का सवाल एक ही है। पिछले सप्ताह भी हम लोगों ने इस पे आपको अपडेट दिया था कि करीबन 51 लोग हैं जिन्होंने मदद मांगी है भारतीय सरकार से, हमारे एम्बेसी से, उनके परिवार लोग, और वो खुद उन्होंने चिट्ठी लिखा है कि उनको रूसी सेना से जल्द निकाला जाए। आपको ज्ञात होगा कि इस मुद्दे पे हम लोगों ने आपसे पहले भी बात की है। प्रधानमंत्री के दौरे के दरमियान ये बातचीत हुई और रूसी सरकार की तरफ से आश्वासन दिया गया कि जो हमारे वहाँ सैनिक लोग फंसे हुए हैं वहाँ रशियन फौज में, उनको वहाँ से रिहा कराया जाएगा। इस पे काम चल रहा है और जल्द ही हम आशा करते हैं कि ये लोग हमारा भारत वापस लौट पाएंगे। मिलन, so this issue we have taken up. It was taken up by the Prime Minister himself during the visit, and the Russian authorities have given us assurance. They've given a positive response on our request, and we are working to get these people back to India. Ayan, on budget, we have with Afghanistan, as you know, we have historical ties with the people of Afghanistan. We have undertaken humanitarian assistance over several years now. We continue to be committed to this partnership with the people of Afghanistan, and therefore in the budget you saw the reflection of the figures that you talked about. On the question of surge in visas, I don't have exact numbers of visas that you're talking about, but yes, visas from people in Afghanistan, people in Afghanistan is being given, and that to and fro movement is happening. Rishabh, on the question of vandalization of the temple in Edmonton in Canada, we have strongly taken up the matter with Canadian authorities both here in Delhi and in Ottawa. We condemn the vandalization. We expect the local authorities to take swift and strong action against those responsible. These attacks against temples have become a recurring occurrence and are done with a purpose which is not very difficult to fathom. We have seen a number of such incidents in recent times in Canada. Lack of action against the perpetrators has further emboldened such criminal elements. Those advocating and responsible for extremism and violence need to be brought to justice, or else the rule of law and respect for pluralism in Canada will continue to be severely undermined. We hope that the Canadian government will take action. It has been happening on a repeated basis now. Huma, we have sent our first officer has been sent to Tripoli, Libya. Our embassy, he has to set up the embassy, and thereafter we will, in some sense it is functional now, but it is not fully functional. But he has gone there to establish it, and soon you will have all the activities beginning in Libya. And thereafter, of course, we will try to enhance and expand our cooperation. We do have people there. Exact number I don't have a figure right now, but I can give you that figure. We have people who are working in that country, in medical field, teachers, professionals, so on and so forth. On the question of OFAC exemption, yes, we have also seen reports of Indian company being given exemption by OFAC of the United States to trade in oil with Venezuela. Whether other companies are also have also been given this exemption or not, I don't have an update, but I shall give you the latest, the soonest that I have. Srinjoy, regarding meetings that happen on border areas, we have been giving you an update of all the meetings that have happened at the military to military level and at the diplomatic level as well. We will continue to update you with these, the progress that happens in these meetings. Rudy, on Bangladesh, while answering Suhasini's question, I told you that we see the developments in Bangladesh as an internal matter of that country. So that is a position on the question that you raised. So with that, we come to the closure of this press engagement. We have two more questions. Yeshi and then Sachin.
This is Yeshi again from the New Indian Express. I just wanted to know if there's any update on the 8th Naval Veteran Commander Purnendu Tiwari. It's been 5 months since the 7.
विदेश मंत्रालय की प्रेस वार्ता का सीधा प्रसारण आप देख रहे थे, जिसमें